I rewatched Danganronpa recently, and I just forgot how dumb the killers were in this series, specifically the first game, Trigger Happy Havoc. If you don't know, Danganronpa is a Japanese visual novel where the main character, Makoto Naegi, is trapped in a school that has been boarded up with his other classmates, who are also known as Ultimates, who are students that excel in one major talent. A robotic bear named Monokuma then appears and tells them that they're trapped, and the only way out is to successfully kill someone and get away with it. And successfully getting away with a murder means you need to avoid being voted out as a killer in a trial, pretty much like in Among Us after someone reports a body. If the group guesses correctly, only the killer dies. If guessed incorrectly, then everyone but the killer dies. And spoilers ahead, but these killers are the smartest idiots ever. Like, the way they go about their kills aren't necessarily idiotic, especially in the first case, Leon. He killed Saiga, the ultimate idol, after she tried to kill him, and was able to get rid of the evidence while pinning the blame on his classmate during his trial. And it was actually working for the time being. Now, why would I call them stupid? It's simple. These people don't know when to shut up. There are so many cases where the killer says something that obviously only the killer would know and or commit the murder with their ultimate talent that everyone knows that they have, because no one has the same ultimate talent. Hell, in the second case, Mondo did too much talking and mentioned the color of the jersey that no one but the killer would have known. No one was even onto him yet. By the way, one of the Ultimates is literally the world's best detective, and they all know this, so you'd think they know what detail to leave out. Each killer had great schemes, got rid of most of the evidence linking them to the crime, only to sell last minute. All of them have the same ultimate talent, the talent of folding. I've been watching One Dance recently, this new dance anime that came out this year, and while I've been loving it so far, it's getting absolutely destroyed online. The stories, characters, and 2D animation are good, and I love the use of IRL songs, and they even show Scatman John in episode 1. So why the hate? Well, I mentioned 2D animation for a reason, because 98% of the dance animations are rendered in 3D. Personally, I think it looks fine. The movement actually flows well with the music, and it's just the models that take me out of it, because they just look like plastic dolls, like they don't change facial expression. As of episode 8 is actively improved, although the transitions between 2D and 3D are still jarring, and sometimes the 3D looks out of place. I've seen this get compared to X-Arm of all things. If you don't know what that is, you're lucky. That is a whole other level of bad. I have read a bit of the manga, and if you're a reader, I completely understand. This is like Kaiju number 8 changing most of the character designs, but I wouldn't call this a completely botched adaptation. It definitely isn't the worst animation this year, or as bad as people make it out to be, and I think people should give it a chance. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think. I've been seeing people confused about Alistair's plan in Season 2 of Hazbin Hotel, and that the deal doesn't make sense, so I wanted to clear all that up. Let's start with the initial deal with Rosie, which was, in exchange for working under her for a single task, Alistair would become the strongest sinner in hell. Rosie then transfers over some souls after Alistair's death to give him the power that he requested in the deal. Quick reminder that overlords gain power through having souls under their control, which makes them stronger, as Carmine explains in Season 1. And a mass soul transfer wouldn't be out of the ordinary, since Husk, a former overlord, gambled most of his away, which left him with less power. Next up are the powers that Alistair received. His power isn't reliant on Rosie except to fix his staff, since she is stronger than him. Rosie is a demon, and therefore doesn't count as being a sinner. The third thing is Alistair's plan with Vox. The plan was to rage bait Vox into getting more influence across hell. Remember that overlords gain power from having control over more souls. Vox got more after spreading he defeated Alistair, and doing so was making him stronger. And then there's Charlie saying that he's the strongest while broadcasting, so now most of hell sees Vox as the strongest sinner. The fourth thing is the deals being broken. Rosie's deal, in her words, was to make Alistair the most powerful sinner in hell, but as seen with Vox, words in the deal matter. She never specified being the most powerful in hell up until this point. It seems to be an ongoing thing as long as either Alistair or Rosie are alive. Since that condition isn't being upheld, the deal was broken. In the original deal, the power Alistair gained wasn't threatened to be taken away, but Alistair's freedom was exchanged, and it was returned to him after the deal was broken. Even if the power was taken away after the broken deal, it'd just be the power that Rosie granted, but Alistair already had a reputation and a multitude of souls under him from his time as an overlord. That's my analysis on Alistair. Let me know what y'all think down below. Ash vs Yugi Death Battle dropped yesterday, so here are my thoughts. Nah, they really just said that Diglett is faster than light. I didn't know too much about Yu-Gi-Oh going into this, so the entire time during Yugi's breakdown, I kept saying, what in God's name is Yu-Gi-Oh on besides bullshit? This must be how Kyle Rayner fans felt watching Simone's breakdown. Because what do you mean he can manipulate probability too? I swear, I need more Yugi slander, because how did he get all of these reality-bending cards in his starter deck? His granddad really looked out for him before getting Shadow Realmed. Of course, my goat Crocodile is gonna sacrifice himself for Ash. They really tricked me twice after giving both of them a let's give it all we got partner moment, only for it to get overruled by a trap card. They really brought out all their god tier monsters just for a damn barrel to finish the job. And apparently not his only damage reverse card, along with having damage negation too. Seriously, what did his grandpa do to get him this pack? So what I'm hearing is that Yugi got nothing without those cards. He got no hands whatsoever. I love this death battle, and this season as a whole has been great, and it looks like next season we're getting a return of Ichigo. I've been catching up on the Egghead arc, and after almost being caught up, I can't tell who the bigger goat of the arc is, Vegapunk or Dorian Bragi. After seeing Kuma's backstory, I can't get on Vegapunk too much because he was never fully on the Gorosei side, and actively within his own power going against them. He's definitely a mad scientist with questionable morals at times, but him programming Bonnie to be the highest authority to the pacifistas, and having a broadcast ready for when he died, puts him up there. And after seeing them pull off these moves, I need to see a spin-off with Dorian Bragi in their prime. They pull up to an island, see the Gorosei in their demon forms jumping Luffy, and with no second thought, get to work on these bums. And I mean belt to ass. If they're moving like this now, I can't imagine how they were moving before that 100-year duel. If there's one thing I like about One Piece, it's that the side characters can be gone for over hundreds of episodes and still have that same hype as when they were first introduced. After watching The Boys' final season trailer, like most people, I'm trying to figure out who Homelander is beating in this scene. Since he's punching so many times, it has to be a soup, unless Homelander just felt like holding back this day. So I got it down to it being either A-Train, Soulja Boy, and even potentially Ryan. Spoilers for the comics, but it could be A-Train taking the place of Queen Maeve, who sacrifices herself to help the boys escape. Homelander even does a similar pose in the trailer as he does in that panel, and like Queen Maeve in the comics, A-Train is on his redemption arc. Although because it seems like he has burns on his clothes, I'm starting to lean more towards Soulja Boy or Ryan. Out of those two, I think Ryan is more likely. Soulja Boy is a literal nuke and hasn't shown that he could focus his energy into a laser before. And with how conflicted and betrayed Homelander looks, I definitely think it's Ryan. Yes, he was crying about A-Train last season, but let's be honest, those were crocodile tears at best. They gave me awards this the other day, and Expedition 33 has won Game of the Year, along with breaking the record for the most awards won in the Game Awards. I'm definitely biased because it's the only nominee I played, but every award it got was deserved. With this big of a sweep, this wasn't even the Game Awards, it was the Clear Obscure Awards. Somehow Dispatch got Hoda winning Player's Choice, followed by Mario Kart World winning Best Racing Game somehow, and to no one's surprise, Umasume won Best Mobile Game. I'm glad that Donkey Kong Bonanza won an award. It was an underdog this year for sure. I just wish it got nominated for Best Score because I still jam it to Snake Bonanza from time to time. And then there's the reveals. We got Deadpool and Elsa Bloodstone coming to Marvel Rivals, a Resident Evil Requiem teaser, and Leon still got it with that kick from Resident Evil 4, another Super Mario Galaxy movie sneak peek, and did Luigi just steal Captain Falcon's knee? Not to mention 2 new Star Wars games, The Return of the Old Republic, and Galactic Racer. And last but not least, finally Mega Man is making his return. This year's awards were great, let me know what y'all thought about it. After watching Death Battles Ash vs Yugi, I figured I'd give Yu-Gi-Oh a watch. I only remember the first 2 episodes from when I was a kid, but other than that, I almost know nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh outside of how to play the card game to a degree. Why is Kaiba in this school? Isn't he one of the richest people in the world? Not to mention, he's actively running his own company. Why is he here? So this is what they mean by Heart of the Cards. Should've called it Heart of the Deck with how your belief determines if you draw the exact card that you need. I feel like if I didn't have any knowledge of the series before, I'd be lost because Yugi already has the puzzle and can transform, but he doesn't talk to Yami outside of Yami giving Yugi a pep talk that he doesn't acknowledge as someone else. I'm just assuming it's a Kurama situation and Yugi becomes aware of Yami later on. Never before have I seen a more punchable kid than Weevil before starting the series. I need justice for Exodia. I swear this entire duel with Weevil was them making up rules as they go. Are all the Duelist Kingdom battles like this? I'm having fun with the show so far. I might get back into collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards again. I saw rumors that one of my favorite animes of all time, Berserk, may be returning with a new adaptation, and I feel conflicted. If this is just another retelling of the Golden Age arc, I'd rather this potential adaptation not happen. There's so much more of the manga that is yet to be animated, and a bigger sin is that the parts that did were in the god-awful 2016 adaptation. The final episode in the original 1997 anime leaves off at chapter 89, and there are over 300 chapters so far, so there's plenty of material for a season. Don't get me wrong, I love the Memorial Edition of the Golden Age arc for animating the Skull Knight finally, but that adaptation only covers bits and pieces of that arc that were in the 1997 version. It's like constantly seeing the same superhero origin story every movie. I'm looking at you, Batman. There's even a fan project that was supposed to come out this year, and it would have covered more of the Black Swordsman arc and hopefully more of the series, but unfortunately, it got axed. I don't want to spoil the manga, but shit gets crazier after the eclipse, and I need the rest of the story to get animated with the animation it deserves. When it came to anime this year, I'd say Sonda is this year's biggest hidden gem. To sum it up, the show follows Sonda after getting stabbed by his classmate Fuyamura is revealed to be the descendant of Santa Claus. In this dystopic future, the birth rate in the world is low and children are treated as sacred treasures, and in this society, youth is valued the most above all. Puberty is looked as the worst thing that can happen to a kid, and they even went through modification over generations so that they won't need much sleep, but one night can cause them to go through puberty overnight. And since they're being treated as sacred, an adult punishing a child in any way is illegal. And because of the laws, kids don't have to follow the same laws as an adult and can do practically anything. The animation is amazing, with some pretty disturbing scenes involving skin and other kinds of body horror. What I also love about the anime is its themes about growing up and the amorality of kids when you give them too much freedom. Like Sundowner says, kids are cruel, Jack. I definitely recommend this. It is almost Christmas after all. Can people stop trying to write off comics like they're only supposed to be used as a power scaling tool? Power scaling is fun, but every time someone brings up a comic book character, it'll be one of two annoying reactions. You'll have one guy say, just use the movies, no one reads comics! Or it'll be someone that uses a one-time power or a feat that needed a lot of circumstances and prep time in order for it to happen. Both are annoying, but there is a third type. The people who write off comics, who are generally ignorant, and I think that's most of the anime community that's part of this. Comics are just another form of story content. If you only use in the power scale,
somebody help! I'm just a beating! Oh God, I've never fought somebody this strong before!
I just know I'm stunning on niggas. I know it, I feel it. But the big question is, how can I save this nigga and still be clean? Ooh, oh, I got one. There ain't nothing wrong with this one. I got one.
Son 隊長、ここはハンターズのダンジョンです。
Happy New Year's everyone. I did pre-record this before the holiday so I could focus on spending time with family, so some stuff may look wrong when this gets posted. I want to thank everyone for their support so far. In 3 months, my account on TikTok got over 450 likes, and on YouTube, we got over 100 subs at the time of this recording. While I'm happy with this so far, it's not enough, and I want this year to be better than 2025 and grow bigger in 2026. For those who watched me from day one, thank you. And for those who are new, welcome aboard. Also for those wondering, my name is pronounced Lucrox. Happy New Year's!